Right, so as you've just seen, I've just had Autoglass out. They've done an official proper windscreen removal job on the van. I've arranged for the screen to be taken out one day, and this is a Friday, and the screen isn't going to actually be replaced until the following Monday, so that's going to give me all weekend just to address the rust issues around the screen. As you can see, there is little bits of rust going up around the screen, little bits down around there, and especially along the top, especially where the seal to the high top is. Now, looking at the metalwork now the screen's out, it looks as though the seal along the high top has actually perished. That's let water in, and then it looks as though the water's then dribbled down the inside of this metal and started to slightly corrode it from the inside out. Now, I'm hoping that all this is still going to be relatively good metal and it's just surface rust. If it's not, it's going to have some metal welded in. This is from the Autoglass people. They said that any sort of filler work along the screen area is not acceptable. It needs to be metal welded if any metal work does need replacing. Now, all the way along the scuttle plan as well, the scuttle tray, as I say, this is all rusty along there as well, so this is the ideal time. Now I've got the screen out just to get all of these issues addressed. So I'm going to be getting along with a flap disc and a Dremel where I can get in and get all of the affected metalwork fully ground back down to good metal. I'll get a good coating of the black paint that I'm going to be doing the rest of the van with. It's just going to be Rustoleum paint, so that should help to stop any rust starting to creep back through in the future as well. So now I'm going to get my grinder and my flap disc and the Dremel out and get all the way around the screen frame ground back, ready for the new screen to be fitted in a couple of days' time. So I'm going to get my tools out and get rid of this rust. Right, so now that's the windscreen out and pretty much all of the rust around the screen taken care of as well. I've been going at it with a flap disc on a grinder and a Dremel as well, and I've taken everywhere back to bare shiny metal. As you can see, there's no rust going along there anymore. The very worst area is probably along this side, on the driver's side, just in the corner there. There's still a little bit of pitting, but it's not on the actual screen side, it's on the actual slam panel area. But again, it's got back to bare metal. There's no holes in the metalwork, so the rust hasn't had a chance to eat through any of the metal, so that's good. It means I'm not going to have to replace any metal on the frame itself. It should be okay just to have a new screen bonded in now all of the rust repairs done. So, as I say, I was speaking to the Autoglass guy. He said do not treat anywhere where they're going to be bonding a new screen with any rust repair type treatment, any of the Kurust or anything like that. They said that if they came out and they were going to fit a new screen and it had some rust treatment on the metal, they wouldn't actually fit the screen because the bonding would then be sticking to the Kurust rather than the metal. So, as I say, all the way along the entire top of the roof as well, that's been taken back to bare metal all the way along, because it looks as though where water's been getting in, it's been getting in through the seal along the high top. So I've been in there again with the flap disc and the Dremel just to get all of the old sealant out in between where the high top meets the body of the van. So I'm going to be giving that an entire new sealant all the way around it, just to be sure there's not going to be any chance for any water to be leaking back into there. Right, so now all of the rust has been ground back, especially along the high top as well. That's all completely bare metal along there now. So what I've done is masking taped all the way around where the windscreen is going to be going in, because as I mentioned earlier, Autoglass said that if there was any rust treatment on where the window is going to bond in, they won't fit it. They'll just down tools and tell you to remove all of it. So because the surrounding area still needs some sort of rust treatment, I've masked off anywhere where the windscreen is going to be bonded in, and now I'm going to be going around the outsides with some Hammerite Kurust, just on the outside of the frame, anywhere where there was any rust, especially along the top where the high top met the body, because it looks as though that's where some water might be creeping in before. So all of that's going to get a treat with Hammerite Kurust. Then it's going to be getting fully painted over. I'm going to put a new seal of Sikaflex in it, all the way along the high top seal around the front. Then it's going to get painted. So now I've masked off all of the surround of the windscreen. I'm going to get the Kurust out and go around all around the front areas, around the like the slam panel, like the scuttle tray type area, all the way around the sides, and hopefully that should prevent any further rust from encroaching in the future. Right, so that is the entire windscreen surround, all treated with Hammerite Kurust. It's all been stripped back to bare metal. I say anywhere where the windscreen is going to be bonded has been masking taped and that hasn't been treated. That's going to be getting full bond treatment when the windscreen goes back in. So the Hammerite Kurust that I put around the outside of the windscreen frame, that's just to protect any further bubbling from the A-pillar of the frame itself and around the scuttle tray, because all along the very front top edge along there was starting to get a little bit rusty and crusty. Thankfully it hadn't eaten through the metal, so as I say, it's just been treated. This now needs to cure for an hour to two, and then it'll be okay to paint. Right, so it's been a couple of hours since I treated around the windscreen with the Kurust. As you can see, I didn't treat anywhere where the windscreen's going, just above and around and down. Now it's all dry, I've got some fresh new Sikaflex, so I'm going to be running an entire new bead, running all the way along the high top at the front, and I'll probably run a new bead running down the side as well, just to be sure. I mean, the one along the side looks in pretty good condition, it doesn't look as though it's deteriorated much, but at the end of the day, while I'm doing a full bead at the front, I might as well do a full bead around the side as well, just to be sure that the sealant's going to be good for many years to come. So I'm going to crack on with this Sikaflex, get the full bead going all the way around the front, and that'll be getting closer to be ready to be painted. Right, so it's a new day. I left the Hammerite Kurust and all of the new sealant along the high top to cure overnight. So now I'm back today. The windscreen's getting fitted tomorrow, so before the windscreen's getting fitted, I'm going to be going all the way around the outside of the frame, giving it a good coating with some Rustoleum paint. As I say, I'm not going to be doing where the windscreen's going to be going, that's still masking taped off. So I'm just going to be going around all around the outside of the frame that I've already ground back and treated for rust, all the way along the scuttle panel as well. So all of this is going to be getting just a coating. I'm just brushing this on just because it's awkward area, and then the rest of it's going to be getting rolled. But this soon will be a fully repaired windscreen, windscreen out, rust repair, new windscreen in job. So I'm just going to crack on and continue painting the rest of the scuttle panel and around the frame, and then it'll be ready for the new screen to go back in. Right, so that is all of the scuttle panel area and the full surround of the windscreen surround all painted now with Rustoleum paint. Anywhere where the windscreen isn't going to be bonded to has also been rust treated with Hammerite Kurust as well. Obviously I just masked off anywhere where there's going to be any bonding agent, because that needs to be kept free. But other than that, I've resealed completely all the way along the top of the high top, and I've also run a fresh bead going all the way down the side of both sides as well. Thankfully it was black Sikaflex that I bought, so it does match in with the paint. So, but I've also had to paint over it today as well while I've been doing the rest of the van, while I've been roller painting this with some Rustoleum. So that is now all the scuttle area all the way along and all the way around the top and the sides completely rust free now, and now it's just going to be a case of waiting for the screen to go back in, and then that will be a complete windscreen out, rust repair, brand new windscreen back in job complete. Right, so that is the new windscreen now fitted. I had a different Autoglass chap out to refit the window, and for some reason he didn't actually want me filming him fitting the window. The original guy who took the window out didn't have any issues, but for some reason when it was getting refitted, the guy said he did not want me to film him, so unfortunately I didn't manage to get to record the refitting process. But that is now the windscreen back in, fully bonded back in with a brand new rubber seal going all the way around it. And as I say, while it was out, it's all been fully treated. So as you can see, all of the scuttle tray, scuttle panel, all that's been painted. All of the area, as you've seen earlier in the video, has been stripped all the way back to bare metal. It's had Hammerite Kurust applied, and then it's had a liberal thick coating of Rustoleum black paint. So now all of the A-pillars and windscreen surrounds are completely rust free, as is the joining gap in between the high top and the metalwork. All that's been resealed with Sikaflex and again painted over after it's been rust treated as well. So that is now a complete windscreen out, full rust repair around the entire surrounding screen area. It's been treated with rust treatment, painted, new screen put back in. So in theory that should be a windscreen rust free for many years to come. So I hope you found the video useful. If you did, feel free to check out my channel. I'm documenting the entire conversion of this van on there, as well as all of the bodywork, prep paint, the high top painting. Everything's getting put onto my YouTube channel, so feel free to have a look at that. And I hope you found the video useful. Thanks for watching. Cheers.